Y'all, the victory you just manifested is about to have somebody regretting that they did not have enough faith in you. There was something that was going on in your situation, and you could have been dealing with someone or a few individuals, and you were dealing with a lot, you were going through a lot. And someone essentially did not have faith in you. They may not have saw you as valuable, as worthy. They may have thought that you weren't right for a situation of some sort. And they may have even abandoned you. They may have even made you feel like you weren't being supported. They may have made you feel like there was something wrong with you. They could have maybe even talked mess about you behind your back. There's something that happened in the situation. But despite the naysayers or these individuals that did not have faith in you, that did not believe in you, or that did not see the value in you and what you were doing, you still manifested a powerful victory for yourself. Many of you all, that victory could be in different forms, in different ways. Whatever you feel like is a victory for you, that is what this is most likely pertaining to or speaking about. And this could have something to do with people who you thought were really for you, or who you thought really valued you, all right, or who you thought would be there for you. Some of y'all, you would have never thought that these individuals would lose faith in you or would think the way they did or act the way they did in a situation of some sort. So what the divine in the universe is saying with these messages is that essentially this almost had to happen, what occurred, for you to be able to see who was really for you and who really wasn't, who was meant to continue on this path, this journey with you, and who wasn't, who was worth your time, effort, and energy, and who wasn't. And things became very obvious to you and very clear to you. So for some of you all, you may have gained new comrades, new friends, new supporters throughout this situation. Some of you all may have moved on from some individuals who you realized were not meant to be on this journey with you, or who you realized was not supportive of you, did not have faith in you. And it was the most smallest things that made them switch up on you, so to say. All right. Some of you all, maybe in the past, this would have made you feel some type of way. It would have made you upset, bothered, pissed off. All right. It would have made you maybe not want to involve yourself with others, or it could have even made you sad in the past. But I see that you have a lot of improvement and a lot of maturity in your situations and in your what you've been doing. And so you honestly could care less if these people did not have faith in you, and if they did not want to see things from your perspective, or see the value in what it was that you had, what it was that you were doing, or what was going on in your situation. For some of you all, there were individuals, these individuals could have been prejudiced. They could have been prejudging why you were doing things, or what was going on in your life, or why you were the way you were, why you thought the way you thought. And it's almost like these individuals are being proven wrong, and they're essentially having to deal with that and come to terms with that. So they're recognizing that you were actually a great partner, you were actually a great friend, a great supporter, a great lover, a great comrade, fellow, whatever you are to these individuals, right? And that you actually truly did love what you were doing, or care about what was going on in a situation, or that you really, because for some of you all, these individuals, like I said, the situation could be different for many of y'all, how you achieved this victory and what you were dealing with. But for some of you all, these prejudices had to do with people thinking that maybe that you were lazy, or that you were lying about the things that you have gone through, or what you were experiencing. Or maybe they made you feel like you weren't being supported, or like you weren't meant to be in a situation of some sort. And it looks like for some of you all, you could be speaking up about this, or you could be wanting to express how you really feel about the situation to these individuals. Whereas maybe in the past you wouldn't say anything, or you would just kind of just, let it be what it was. But you're not about to deal with whatever these individuals are on, because maybe you really needed that support. Maybe you really needed that camaraderie, that love, that compassion, that empathy within whatever this was that you were dealing with or going through. But the universe allowed it to happen the way it happened because you needed to see who was worth your time, effort, and energy, and who was not. Who was meant to move forward with you on this journey, who wasn't. Who is worth you maybe sacrificing for, or going above and beyond for, etc., and who isn't. Who can you rely on? Who can you not? Wow, I just heard that, thought about that song. Who can I run to when I need love? Who can I run to? Who's that? That's Escape? The group Escape? I believe so. But yeah, so you were very strong. You stayed dedicated. You stayed resilient to your goal and to what you were wanting to accomplish in this situation. And because you did not allow the opinions of these individuals, the abandonment of some of them, the disrespect, the losing of faith, the on and on and on of whatever they did that was not right, you did not allow it to stop you. You did not allow it to get you down. You did not allow it to make you lose yourself. And this is how you were able to attain this wonderful victory of some sort. Some of you all, this is a massive victory. This is a major victory. Others of you, it could be more of a smaller one, right? So it could be something as simple as maybe someone said that they would help you or look out for you with something, and they ended up not doing it, right? And it was a small thing, but because it didn't work out the way that you intended it to, it could have caused other things to occur, and maybe may have even made the situation a little bit more difficult for you. But instead of you focusing on how they didn't show up for you or didn't look out for you, or they lost faith in you or whatever, you focused on yourself. You had more faith in yourself. You pushed yourself even more. You kept going, and you didn't care if at the end of the day it was only you, believing in yourself, so to say. Because for some of y'all, that's what happened. It came down to just you believing in yourself, right? Possibly because for some of you all, maybe you had this goal of some sort, this plan of some sort, and others weren't able to see how it could be victorious, or they weren't able to see why it was worth investing in or believing in or valuing. And it took you to do it yourself and to make it happen for them to finally see. And sometimes things happen like that, right? So instead of you taking, because for some of y'all, these individuals did this on purpose. They did it on purpose to make you lose faith in yourself. They wanted you to lose faith in yourself. They wanted you to quit doing something. They wanted you to stop doing something. They wanted you to go along with what they wanted you to go along with. Others of you, it was just, they weren't able to see your vision. They weren't able to see what was going on. They didn't have all the knowledge or the wisdom that you may have had, or they were prejudiced about something, or whatever the case may be. But others were intentionally trying to essentially make you doubt yourself. And for some of y'all, you could have realized that these individuals are not really for you, or they're not meant to continue on this journey with you, or they're not meant to be prioritized possibly in the ways that you could have been doing before, right? So you all decided to speak life into yourself. You decided to uplift yourself, to motivate yourself, to empower yourself, even when others may have seemed to have lost faith in you, or may not have been willing to play their role, so to say, in a relationship with you, or in a camaraderie with you, or in a union with you, whatever this is, okay? So many of you all may have felt like these individuals weren't willing to do what was necessary to maintain a situation or to make a situation better. Maybe you felt like they weren't willing to put in the effort, or maybe that's why they decided to not be there for you when you needed them to, so to say. For some of y'all, if that's what happened, they weren't willing to give up something or to do something that maybe you had been willing to do before or in the past, or that you could have done for them. And so you may have recognized that for some of y'all in this situation, there was not an equal give and take. You could have been going above and beyond or doing way more for someone or something, and you recognize that it was not worth it because you weren't getting the same in return or even close to what it was that you were doing. Some of you all could have been prioritizing people or things that you didn't need to prioritize. You could have recognized that. So there was a major, like, looking at your situation, admitting what the truth was or what was going on, not sulking in misery or not allowing it to make you lose sight of your end goal, and continuing to move forward despite maybe some of the not so great feelings that you could have been experiencing in the situation. And so some of you all, you may have had to start over with something. You may have had to do something over again, or go about something in a different way. And maybe others may have been prejudiced and saw that as if you were not stable or not reliable or unsure and things of that sort. But just because someone may have to start over or do things over and over, or may not win on the first opportunity, the first try, does not automatically mean that they are not worthy, that they are not valuable, that what they are doing is not going to be successful, so to say, or that it's not worth, it doesn't mean that it's not worth investing more in or caring more about. So that was a major situation where you just had to move forward, trusting in yourself, trusting in your path, trusting in what the divine could have been showing you or explaining to you, and it was victorious. All right, it was victorious. You manifested a powerful victory for yourself. Some of you all, there were a lot of naysayers. There were a lot of people who may not had believed that this could be successful, or believed in the truth of something, or who did not want to see something for what it really was. For some of you all, because they're not able to face the truth, right? Some of you all, these individuals, you have an easier, better time at admitting what is really going on in a situation or what is really happening versus them. And so maybe many of you are able to make changes or do certain things in ways that would allow you to be more successful quicker than, let's say, others. So it may seem like you at times are not reliable, or you're not stable, or there's something wrong because maybe you're making these different changes, you're doing these different things, or you're moving in these different ways that others may not. And a lot of the time, because you're willing to do that, you become successful quicker. Whereas with others who are not, an example, willing to admit that they're wrong, they keep doing the same thing over and over and over, thinking that because they don't want to admit that they're wrong, and so they don't achieve success as quickly as maybe you would. Or they may not do certain things that maybe you would do because they're not willing to do certain things that you're willing to do. And so you end up succeeding, you end up manifesting victories for yourself. And you could have been dealing with individuals who could have been trying to make you feel like what you were doing was wrong, or how you were going about a situation was not correct, or that you needed to change something, when actually you were doing things, let's say it like this. You were on the correct path, you were on the right journey, so to say, or doing what you were meant to be doing, but you may have just needed to do it in a different way, or add something into the situation or whatever. It wasn't completely worthless. It wasn't not valuable, so to say, but others may have felt that whatever it was that you were doing wasn't. And you're going to prove these individuals wrong, even if you're not intentionally trying to. That's just what's happened or what is about to happen. Okay. So yeah, there could have been individuals that were hoping that you were not able to get through a situation and overcome it successfully. Possibly for some of y'all, they could be haters, they could be secret competitors, envious, jealous, spiteful, things of that sort. but you still move forward and you're doing great. And so for many of you all, because you don't really have to seek validation from others, there's a lot that you are able to accomplish because you're not waiting for the validation from someone else to say whether or not what you're doing is valuable or worthy, or if they like it, or if they're going to support it. You half the time could care less, right? So for these other individuals, maybe they hold themselves back from doing things that could be very valuable for them, or that could be very worthy for them, or that could get them closer to success. They hold back from these things because they're seeking some sort of external validation. And so because they may not get that external validation, they may think that it's not meant to do something a certain way, or they think that, they should give up on it, or they're not willing to take the risk or the chance, etc., etc. And just because someone does not get external validation that shows them, hey, yeah, others support what you're doing, or hey, yeah, others like what you're doing, it doesn't necessarily mean that they should stop doing it or not do it or not move forward with it, right? And sometimes some things may not work the first time. That does not necessarily mean that you have to quit doing it just because it doesn't work the first time. Sometimes it takes a few times to try something, or to do something, or to work at something, to either figure out what will make it successful or to become better at it, and on and on and on. And so there's a lot that you have learned over time. There's a lot that you have figured out that you are able to see, for many of you all, that others may not be able to see, or may not understand, or may not get. And so you are comfortable with that and recognize that and are aware of that as you see the way that certain individuals respond to the things that you're doing, or the choices and decisions that you're making. Okay, so some of you all, you're meant to be a trendsetter, a leader, a trailblazer, a way shower. So sometimes there's not a set plan laid out for you on how to go about something or how to do something, because you're doing something different. You're leading the way, so to say. So some of you all, you cannot rely on external validation for something because they may not know what that something is. And so by default, you're just going to have to trust your path, trust yourself, trust the way that you move, and not necessarily try to force the outcome. So you're doing really well. And I also see that the universe wants you to know that it is proud of you for not complaining about what you don't have. You're making do with what you do have. And this is something very powerful for you, because some people wait till they have a perfect situation or have everything that they need, etc., to make moves or to go after their goals. And a lot of the time, things are never perfect. A lot of times, people may not have exactly everything that they need, that to work with what they have. And because of this, sometimes things may not look as perfect, or they may not feel as perfect, or they may not be, and that's okay. So many of you all are okay with not being perfect, right? And that and okay with not having everything that you want, or that you may think that you need. You're still moving forward. You're still making things happen. So an example, you're not waiting for some sort of external validation, or for people to Hercules you know, when you do something good, or when you are making choices and decisions that require bravery or stamina or resilience. And because of that, you're manifesting these powerful victories for yourself. Some of y'all have recognized that you don't need the kudos from maybe some comrades or partners or friends or associates or schoolmates or whatever. You're learning more. I'm sensing like you're learning more how to trust in your own knowing, your own having an extreme amount of faith in yourself and in your intuition and the divine messages that you may receive. So some of you all, what may end up happening is because others may have abandoned you, for some of y'all, or may have not wanted to support you, or may have thought that something that you were doing was not valuable or not worthy, or may have felt like they couldn't trust you, or you're being stupid by doing this thing or going this route or whatever, and they may regret it. Okay, they may end up regretting it because they're going to see that you're manifesting a victory, and many of them may feel stupid. They may feel dumb because they may have acted out with you. They may have talked crazy to you. They may have talked about you behind your back. They may have said things about you or made you feel certain ways that were unacceptable. All right. And so I do see, though, that they may want to try to come and offer this support or this encouragement or whatever after the fact. For some of you all, you may want to be bitter or petty towards these individuals, but it's probably not best to do that. It may actually be a waste of your time to act that way or be like that. Some of you all, it's just best to move forward. And if you know that they did not do that out of evil, malicious intentions, sometimes it just is what it is, just chalk it up to the game, so to say, just whatever, some people may not have your vision. Some people may not be able to see the things that you can see. That's not to say that, they're dumb or stupid, although some of them might be, but it could just be that they just don't have your vision, right? It may take them a little bit more to see what it is that you see, or to see the value in what it is that you already know is valuable, right? Sometimes you've done a lot of research or a lot of experimenting or a lot of things, but, otherwise that they have not done. So you have a lot more knowledge and wisdom about the thing to know whether or not it will be successful or valuable or worth either putting more time, effort, or energy into or investing in, versus the next person who's kind of looking from the outside in. They may not have done all the research that you have. They may not have experimented the ways that you have. They may not have all the knowledge that you have. So sometimes it's probably better to not expect them to automatically support you in these endeavors or automatically, be able to see what it is that you see or have the vision that you have. And like I said, these situations for you all can be something as simple as someone not thinking that it's worth, let's say, helping you clean something. Maybe they thought it was a waste of time or whatever the case may be, and then later they realize once you do it on your own or once you figure it out, that actually they should have supported you, and maybe they talked bad about you in the process or whatever. That's something very simple where you manifested a victory, but somebody may had not helped you like they said they would, or abandoned you, or talked bad about you or whatever. Some of y'all, these are major victories. This could be something like investing in a business of some sort, right? And maybe others thought that the business idea was stupid, or doing that thing was dumb, or doing it the way that you were doing it was not going to be prosperous, etc., etc. And it ended up becoming extremely valuable, extremely prosperous. So for some of you all, these individuals may try to jump on the bandwagon, so to say, because they don't want to seem like they didn't support you. Okay. But others of you, it just took them a little while. It took them a little while to see, that something would be successful. Or like I said, they didn't have all the knowledge or the wisdom or the understanding that you had. Okay. This could be you wanting to be in a relationship with somebody. Maybe you had friends who thought that this individual was not right for you, or that you could do better, or that whatever it was, and you still move forward with it. And they're recognizing that this person is actually probably one of the best people ever for you, or, whatever it is. Maybe you chose to go with a certain college major. Okay. And someone thought, why would you go with that major? That's not good. And now they're realizing once you either graduated and have a job and you're making really good money or whatever, that was actually the right choice or the right decision for you. It may even inspire them and make them want to do the same or something similar. So there's some sort of major victory of some sort. I just gave you guys small examples as to how it would appear in your situations, but you can kind of get the idea, right? It could be, somebody thought that something you were doing wasn't worth it, or they didn't want to be involved with it, or be in, you know, they didn't want to maybe sacrifice or deal with whatever came along with it because they just felt like it was stupid or not worth it or whatever. So for some of you all, it's up to you whether or not you want to continue to deal with these individuals, right? Like, you know, you may feel, like I said, you may want to be petty or facetious or whatever with these individuals, but half the time it's really not worth your energy. Just don't forget it, right? Just remember that that's how individuals acted or treated you, or, you know, were with you, so that you don't set yourself, like, so that you don't continue to expect in the future that they will support you, or not talk bad about you, or you know, whatever. Okay, so that you don't, so that you know what to expect. You know, you don't go into a situation thinking that something will be better than what it probably will be, or that it'll be worse than what it will be. Because some of y'all, you realize who really supports you. There are individuals who you may have thought would give up on you, or didn't understand you, or didn't have faith in you, or whatever, and you're recognizing, like, wow, they actually did have faith in you. They actually did see the value in either something that you were doing, or something that you were saying, or something that you were standing on, or whatever. Okay. So you may have gained new supporters, or new comrades, or new friends, or new co-workers, whatever, you know, whatever it is for you. So I also see that you're getting really good at not really caring too much about things that aren't worth it, right? Like I said, in the past, this could, like, those individuals acting that way with you could have maybe made you really sad for a while. Okay, it could have maybe made you feel like there was something wrong with you and question what was wrong with you, and were you the one at fault, or whatever. Or it could have made you think that something that was meant for you isn't meant for you, or wasn't meant for you to be doing, or that you needed to change when you didn't. So you've become much better at recognizing very quickly what is worth your time, effort, energy, and what is not. Who you should take knowledge, wisdom from, and who you shouldn't. Who you should rely on, who you shouldn't. Who you can rely on, who you can't. And on and on and on. Some of you all, if you had abandonment issues in the past, it looks like many of you all have overcome them successfully. And this could be what the victory is. For a few of you all, that you no longer feel like there's something wrong with you when others act certain ways with you. You know it's not you, it's them, type of thing. You no longer are sacrificing yourself in ways that you shouldn't be, to just receive some sort of love or appreciation or respect, or to feel like you're validated, right? You're validating yourself, and you could care less what the next person thinks. And you're not doing it in a way that where it's immature or unintelligent. You're intelligent, right? You know when something's wrong and when something's right. You're not gonna just keep doing something if you know it's really not for you. So it's you're not being stupid with your moves, okay? So you've been getting better at what you care about and what you don't. You're recognizing that some things just aren't worth it. And you're okay with if people don't like you seeing it, that it's not worth it, or that or not prioritizing their thoughts, feelings, and opinions over something else, right? You're just over it already. Like you're if they want to act the way that they act, it is what it is. You're going to keep moving forward. You're going to keep manifesting victories. You're going to keep having faith in yourself. You're going to keep doing what you want to do. You're going to keep doing what you know you're meant to be doing. And it is what it is. If they don't support you, they don't support you. So, like, you're all grown people here, you know, and this is, yeah. So you're trusting the flow of the universe. You're not forcing the outcome, so to say, because for some of y'all, you could have wanted things to happen a certain way or be a certain way, or could have been hoping for individuals to be a certain way. You could have been trying to go above and beyond to show people that either you are worthy, that you are valuable, that they support you, or that they should, you know, want to have more involvement with you, or to see that what you had to offer was worth something, okay? Or that what you were doing was actually righteous or good, and not, because for some of y'all, somebody thinks that what you're doing is evil. That's a prejudice, okay? They have a prejudice against you. And that's unfortunate for them, because they're going to miss out on a good thing. They're going to miss out on a good thing, thinking that something that you're doing is evil, or that you're evil, or that you're messed up, or that you're hating on them, or that you're against them, or whatever. They're going to miss out on a good thing. And you don't have to sit there and lose sleep, trying to figure out how to make them not miss out on a good thing. Because for some of y'all, that's what you could have used to do. You could have used to know that these individuals are making the wrong choices and decisions by behaving the way that they're behaving with you, or by acting the way that they act with you, or by thinking the way that they think about you, etc., or responding to you in ways that they were doing. And so you would try to show them, or go and try to prove yourself, so to say, to them, so that they don't make the wrong choice or the wrong decision, or so that they see that you actually care for them, or you actually love them, or you actually value them, or you actually are prioritizing them, or whatever. And it's just like, at some point, it's a waste of time, it's a waste of effort, it's a waste of energy, because it ain't worth it, or they're not worth it, or it don't matter what you do, they're going to keep holding on to these prejudices against you, or whatever, okay? Others of you, if somebody hates you, okay, they just hate you. All right. And from what I'm seeing for many of y'all, it really has a lot to do with some sort of prejudice. And so if they were intentionally trying to make it harder or difficult for you to succeed, some of y'all, it's just pure jealousy, it's hatred, or it's spite, it's envy, it's things of that sort. And so for some of y'all, honestly, you might even just want to have compassion for these people, that their experiences are so much so that they got to act that way with you. It just shows you that you're probably in a better position in life. You're doing better for yourself. You're actually really good at something. And that's why they act that way with you. Some of you all could have used to wonder, why is this person doing that? Why do they hate you? Why are they this and that? And, maybe in a way, because for some of y'all, you could have gone through things when you were younger that made you have a disposition to responding to situations like that. When people would hate you or not like you or whatever, you would automatically wonder, is it something wrong with you? Is it something wrong? Is it something that you did? And there's not necessarily nothing wrong with that, right? It's actually a form of humbleness, but at the same time, there is a such thing as too much of wondering if you did something wrong, or if you were at fault, instead of and ignoring the fact that they're just probably trash, or that they're probably prejudiced, or they got something going on with them, so yeah, because you're the type of individual that's not afraid to admit when you're wrong. You don't shy away from that, because you know that it helps to make a situation better. It helps things to become successful quicker if you can figure out what is not right in the situation and make it right. So yeah, so you may start to receive a lot of support and encouragement from those who may not have supported you before. Others of you, you're just receiving a lot more support and encouragement because you're on the right path, you're doing the right thing. Something worked out in your favor, okay? So the universe, that's what the universe wants you to know. So universe had to tell you today, y'all. All right. And with that being said, I'll see y'all in the next reading.